Hello, welcome back to our Friday study. Today we talk about the seed on the rocky soil. Now please, again, first go and watch Bob Linderman tell the story, Jesus' story about the sower and the seed. Now last week we talked about the seed that was thrown on path. That meant his gospel given to people who don't understand the gospel or people who resist it. And we still want to give the gospel for all people because God can soften their hearts to believe in him. That was the message last week. Now today then, we talk about the seed thrown on rocky soil. Now here in Iowa, we have good soil. If you go to a farm, you can dig down deep in the soil. It's good, rich soil all the way down. I remember one time I visited one farmer. I watched him dig a hole for a fence post. Dug straight down, maybe 30 inches or so, deep down. Easy, just quickly, straight down. Why? No rocks, not one rock all the way down. It was easy to dig up. Now, that's here in Iowa. If you go east to the east coast or you go west, mountains, not the same. Many rocks east and west. You try and dig, immediately hit rocks, 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 many. It's not as good for farming east and west. Now, Jesus' story, Jesus talks about soil that has rocks. Now on top, it's a good layer of soil. It's good soil for growing. But underneath, many rocks. What happens? Well, the seed is thrown, good soil on top. The seed quickly sprouts, grows up, and the roots extend down, but the rocks underneath, the roots hit the rocks and they stop. They cannot go down deep. They go down very, very shallow. So then what happens? The roots are not deep to get water. So the sun becomes hot. That thin layer of soil dries out. The plant does not have deep roots. There's no access to water. The plant dries out and dies. Jesus said that is the same as a person who believes in him, but their faith very shallow. They're excited, they're happy about Jesus, but their faith is not deep. When trouble comes, they lose their faith. For example, suppose a person is a Christian, but people mock them. The people around them are not Christian, and they mock them. Those people become afraid, and they give up their faith. Or the person suffers in this life. They have hard times. Maybe they become very sick. They lose their job. Life is just difficult. Why does God do this? Why is he punishing me? They question, they wonder, they don't understand, and they give up their faith. Maybe in the past they have some sin or some guilt, and it bothers them, and they wonder, can God forgive me? Doubt it. Their past bothers them, their faith is shallow, they give up their faith. Jesus wants us to continue to believe no matter what happens. He wants us to continue to trust him, no matter the trouble that hits you. For that to happen, for your faith to continue strong, it must be deep in him. You must have deep faith and trust in God. Then you can persevere through troubles. Now, how can you have deep faith? Two things that I recommend. One, for yourself to have deep faith, go to church, study his word, fellowship with other Christians, pray. God gives all those gifts for you. Use them. Also, live your faith. If you say, oh, Jesus is fine, I trust him, I have faith, but you set that aside, you don't regularly go to church, you don't study his word, you don't live your faith, you will be weak. Your faith will be very, very shallow. Don't do that. Grow that faith. Use his gifts. Go to church. Read his word. Practice your faith. Do it. Live it. And your faith will be deep. Number two, for other people, what can you do for them to help them grow? Encourage them. Pray for them. Invite them. We are a community of believers, right? We are not alone. We are a community together, a church. Don't leave them alone to take care of their faith alone. When you are in church, when you are studying, living your faith, include them. Invite them to come with you so they can see how you grow your faith. So you can show them how they can grow their faith also. You can be an example for them and include them to grow together. We don't want people to have shallow faith and then lose it. God gave you life. He gave them life as well. Grow that faith and that life. Grow it deep and strong. And then you will be ready for any trouble that hits you, because you will have your roots deep in Christ, and he will keep you alive and strong. Next week, we'll see about the thorns and what that means for you. God bless you. I'll see you next week.